coming up next on East County Now.
Marijuana. Mary Jane.
Rob's Naughty and Nice list for 2014.
Santa had his naughty and nice list. I've got my naughty and nice list for 2014.
When it comes to a street tax election in Portland, no is not an option.
This will not be a yes or no choice. Oh no.
Portland's new tree regulations. Tree huggers gone wild.
Boy, you thought, hey, I live in a free country. I can prune my tree and I can plant a tree anytime I want. Au contraire.
These stories and more on today's East County Now.
Hi, it's Rob Canfield. Welcome to today's episode of East County Now. This is the show where we talk about items of interest and people in East Multnomah County, Fairview, Wood Village, Gresham, Troutdale, East Portland, even Corbett, and everywhere else in East Multnomah County. On today's show, we're going to talk about a few topics of interest. Topic 1 today. Marijuana, Mary Jane, whatever you want to call it. Recently, two businessmen announced they wanted to open a medical marijuana shop across the street from Mayor Square in my hometown of Troutdale. Now, because of this, the city of Troutdale is now considering code amendments that would restrict where a marijuana shop could be, and good for the city of Troutdale for doing this. Thank goodness that state law allows cities to adopt time, place, and manner restrictions on medical marijuana shops. And the city of Troutdale, if they pass these code amendments, the medical marijuana facilities would probably be likely zoned in the industrial area, which is north of Interstate 84, by the Troutdale Airport, FedEx over there. Now you're thinking to yourself, what, are you some sort of troglodyte? Even Troutdale voters voted for the marijuana initiative. As a matter of fact, Measure 91 in Troutdale won 53% to 47%. Well, good for them. They won the election. And, I have some experience with marijuana, and I'm not going to be like Bill Clinton and say I tried it but I didn't inhale. I grew up in the 70s in the city of Eugene, and part of the culture there, although it was illegal, was marijuana. As a teen, I tried it and I used it. It's part of the culture. But after a while, I noticed the people around me who I was associating with, they're heavy marijuana smokers. And I realized, Rob, you are who you are associating with. And I didn't like the folks who I was associating with. So I decided right then and then, no more for me. Now fast forward to today. Today's marijuana is a lot more potent than marijuana from back in the 70s. That's right, this is not your grandfather's marijuana. But elections are elections, and even in Troutdale, the measure passed 53% to 47%, and they won the election. Well, good for them. Actually, it's better for the rest of us who don't smoke marijuana. Marijuana smokers, you go for it. You'll be less competition for everyone else, for jobs, for education, for anything you do in your life, because we'll have the upper hand. We won't be marijuana smokers. The rest of us will leave you guys far, far behind. You go ahead and get high. The rest of us will leave you far behind. Now you're thinking, well, that's not true. Hey, I can function, right? I've talked to a lot of people who say they can function fine while being marijuana smokers. But here's the downside of it. My company, my job, we use staffing companies. We use a lot of temporary help. And one of the representatives from one of the staffing companies gave me an interesting statistic. He said, Rob, it's like this. when people come and take the drug test to apply for us, for our staffing company, there's a 30 to 40% failure rate. That's right, 30 to 40% of people who apply for jobs and take the drug test, they fail the test. So like I said, go ahead, marijuana smokers, other drug users, go ahead and do your thing, because that gives the rest of us a big head up in the world. Go for it. That's the end of item 1. Topic 2, a little levity. I'm going to tell you all about Rob's Naughty and Nice list for Christmas 2004. Santa had his Naughty and Nice list. I've got my Naughty and Nice list for 2014. The nice list are the major retailers who closed on Christmas Day. The naughty list is the major retailers who stayed open and those employees had to work on Christmas Day. So here's my nice list. This is Rob's nice list for Christmas. These are the employers I give a shout out to. Good for you for letting your employees spend time with their families instead of working. Number 1 on my nice list is Walmart. Big, huge store. I mean, they sell more than almost anybody else combined. But they were nice enough to stay closed on Christmas and allow their employees to spend the day with their families. Number 2 on my list, the nice list, is Fred Meyer. Fred Meyer also, thank you very much for staying closed and allowing your family, your members, your employees to spend time with their families. You know, I really appreciate that. Target Corporation, got a big presence in East Multnomah County. In Fairview, they've got a nice store there. They were closed on Christmas. They allowed their employees to spend time with their families on Christmas Day. Kohl's, over by Fred Meyer, also was closed on Christmas Day. Good deal. Best Buy over Gresham Station was closed on Christmas Day. As a matter of fact, the entire Gresham Station was closed. So thank you to all the retailers over there, the restaurants, who remained closed on Christmas Day, so people could stay at home and we didn't have to go to work that day. That includes World Market over there. The other place that was closed on Christmas Day, and I really, really appreciate it, is Troutdale's own outlet mall. They also remained closed for Christmas Day. So, Walmart, Fred Meyer, Target, Kohl's, Best Buy, World Market, Troutdale Outlet Mall. You all have my thanks and gratitude for letting your employees have the day off and spend time with your families, enjoy the Christmas holidays. Okay, there's a nice list, and then there's Rob's naughty list. Major retailers, there were 2 of them on my 2014 Christmas naughty list this year. Safeway. Safeway was open on Christmas Day. Naughty list number 2. Albertsons. Albertsons was open on Christmas Day. This may not be surprising, as you may know that Albertsons and the Safeway are going through a merger. So at least these 2 companies are thinking alike in having their employees work on Christmas Day. Now, we went to Albertsons on Thursday to get a couple of things. Okay, I'm guilty. I shopped at Open Stop, so maybe you can call me a hypocrite. I went into an open store on Christmas Day. And the cashier we talked to, though, the checker, I don't know what you call them these days, I didn't ask her if she volunteered or if she was forced to work on Christmas Day, but she didn't look that happy working. I'm going to do the old guy thing here. When I was growing up, nothing was open at all on Christmas. Nothing. Most gas stations weren't even open. So if you got a toy with batteries and your parents or Santa Claus, if they forgot the batteries, you were out of luck. You were not going to be able to play with your toy Christmas Day. Yeah, that's the kind of old guy story, but hey, what's wrong with that? I mean, why couldn't everybody be closed on Christmas Day? Of all days, that's the day to be closed. Allow people to spend some time with their families. Okay? That's topic 2, Rob's Christmas naughty and nice list. Okay, now it's time for Topic 3. A lot of Multnomah County comprises of people who live within the city of Portland. So today we're going to talk about a topic of interest in the news these days, the proposed Portland street fee. Oh yeah. Portland Mayor Charlie Hales, he's recently decided to put an advisory vote on the ballot in May. An advisory vote. Well, what's that? Basically, he's telling residents, you get to pick your own tax. I'm a friendly guy. I'm Mayor Hales. I'm going to let you pick your own tax. Here's how it works. Mayor Hales and the city of Portland want to put 5 different kinds of tax on the ballot. Tax 1, Tax 2, Tax 3, Tax 4, Tax 5. 5 different kinds. For instance, they might suggest a progressive income tax. There might be a gas tax, a user fee, or a property tax. So there'll be all these options that City of Portland residents will be voting on. Basically, which is your favorite tax? Unlike most things on the ballot, this will not be a yes or no choice. Oh no, there will be no choice on it. You'll choose between one of 4 or 5 different kinds of tax if you're a City of Portland resident. A tax to pay for road fees. So none of the above isn't even an option. The other thing about this vote, it's non-binding. It doesn't mean anything. It's not binding on anybody because you're really not making a choice like a yes or no vote. So basically the city of Portland wants you to choose, pick your poison, pick your tax. And they say the tax which gets the highest vote is the one that the Portland City Council will vote on to approve. That's an interesting thing. Now, even though the City of Portland is saying, hey, we don't have money for fixing roads, they do have the money apparently to pay the $200,000 to $300,000 it will cost to actually conduct an election. Yeah, that's right. They can't afford to pave streets, but they can afford a $200,000 to $300,000 election to give you the choice of which tax do you want to pay. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, it's well known by just about everyone that the City of Portland has ignored their own street repaving plan for as long as anyone can remember. And they waste money on things like the Portland streetcar. Take a guess. How much money every year do you think the City of Portland devotes to their streetcar, which goes maybe a few miles and only the upper end residents use from the south waterfront, north waterfront, or whatever you call it, to northwest Portland? I mean, have you ever ridden this thing? You can walk faster than a Portland streetcar goes, because I've done it. Guess how much money the City of Portland devotes to its street fee? Do you think it's $1 million a year? No. $2 million a year? Nah. $3 million a year? We're getting warmer. $4 million a year? The City of Portland devotes $5 million per year for their Portland streetcar, their little choo-choo, their toy train, whatever you call it. And nobody really rides it. I mean, spending $5 million a year on something that is slower than walking. But then in their next breath, they're saying, oh, we can't afford to pave roads. Sure, potholes. You've seen the signs around the City of Portland. Want your pothole fixed? Call this number. Do they really actually pave the potholes? I don't think so. So the question is, the streetcar, the mayor of Portland, the other commissioners, they would not answer. I don't think they'd answer this question. Why does the city need more money for road repairs anywhere when they've already got the money? They're just spending on other things. It's ridiculous. Now, hat tip to the Max Redline blog for a lot of this information. Thank you very much, Max Redline. Okay, that is topic 3, street tax. Those of you in Gresham, I think you're already paying an extra bit on your water bill for street, police, and parks, all that sort of thing. I think it's about $7 a month. So other cities have done this sort of thing, but the city of Portland's taxes are going to be a lot higher than $7 a month. I can guarantee you that. Okay, topic number 4 today. This topic also has to do with the city of Portland. And I think some of you, a lot of you, might be surprised at this topic. Did you know that the city of Portland enacted new regulations governing trees on private property? And it went into effect on January 2nd. Here's the specific language, and see if you can figure out what this exactly means. This is from the code. Conducting regulated activities without a tree permit. It is unlawful for any person to plant, place, prune, alter, remove, destroy, cut, break, or injure any tree without first obtaining a permit for said action, except as provided in this title. Boy, you thought, hey, I live in a free country. I can prune my tree and I can plant a tree anytime I want. Au contraire, if you live in the city of Portland, you can't cut a tree, you can't prune a tree, you can't even be a tree hugger and plant a tree without getting a permit for it. Now, let's say you're a well-meaning American citizen and you plant your tree and you disobey this law, or you prune your tree. Guess what the fine is? The fine is $1,000 per day if you don't get a permit. $1,000 per day per tree for non-compliance. $1,000 per day for each tree, for each instance of non-compliance. $1,000 a day. You know what? I'm glad I don't live in Portland anymore, because that's ridiculous. It's totally friggin' ridiculous. True believers, what are you going to do with them? Topic 4. Did you know, fellow East County residents, that in November, the city of Troutdale elected a 23-year-old to the Troutdale City Council? That's right, the 7-member Troutdale City Council now has a younger, even more ethnically diverse city councilor. This is history, folks. A guy named Larry Morgan. I've met him. He's a good guy. He beat the incumbent Norm Thomas for a seat on the Troutdale City Council. What's even more amazing is that Norm Thomas served for 12 years on the city council, and he was a city council president. But Larry Morgan beat him 53% to 47%. Larry Morgan is an African American, which is even more amazing. This is the first African American city councilor the Troutdale's had. And he's 23 years old. Now check this out. The next youngest city councilor in Troutdale is Eric Anderson, who's 47 years old. That's quite an age difference. Mr. Morgan, Councilor Morgan, said he wanted to work on human trafficking and tax policies while he's on the city council. You know, I talked with a City of Troutdale staffer the other day, ran into her at a restaurant, and she said she couldn't wait to give Councilor Morgan a tour of all the functions in Troutdale, the offices and all the other facilities in Troutdale. She wanted him to introduce him to all the city staffers. She also wanted to introduce him to the city staffer who works on human trafficking issues. Well, needless to say, the city of Troutdale doesn't have anyone working on human trafficking. It's a serious issue. It really, really is, but Troutdale doesn't have anyone working on that. However, Councilor Morgan probably knows this already, but Multnomah County, the district attorney's office, already has a human trafficking team that was created in 2013, and is formed to put a renewed focus on protecting minor and adult victims, and also holding sex traffickers accountable. And I think they're doing a pretty good job to prevent future sex trafficking and education. They're doing a lot of education and community awareness at it, and perhaps that's what Councillor Morgan will be working on in Troutdale, is more education and just awareness of the issue. Well, seriously though, it is a serious issue, but Troutdale is mainly the city. They have city staff to do police, fire, water, sewer. Well, they farm out fire to Gresham, but they pay money for that. It's police, water, sewer kind of things, parks. I'm not sure the city council would approve more money for like a staff person for human trafficking, and I'm not sure the budget could withstand a position like that. But congratulations anyway to new Troutdale City Councilor Larry Morgan. I've met him, I've talked to him, I had coffee with him. He's a really good guy, and he's a bright young man with a great future in front of him. And the Troutdale City Council could certainly use his let's get things done now attitude. I think just like most government bodies in East County, the city councils and commissions, they like to talk a lot about the same thing over and over again. And it seems like they'd rather have another work session and talk about it more before making any decisions. But Larry Morgan's going to be good for the city. He brings some youthful energy and also a get-her-done spirit for the city of Troutdale. So again, congratulations again to Troutdale resident Larry Morgan. It's really, really good. Looking forward to what you're going to be doing on the city council. Next topic. This isn't really a topic specific to East Multnomah County, but this is a topic near and dear to my heart. It really is. Texting while driving. Every time I get on the freeway, on a road, I think you have the same experience that I do. You see someone texting while driving, or they've got their phone while they're driving, and they're not paying attention to what they're doing. They're just not paying attention. And it's pretty bad, especially on the freeway, because it seems like every car that's going by you, or every car that's going between lanes, going a little slower than traffic, you know exactly what they're doing. They're texting or talking while driving. Now, I've done a little bit of research on this. There is a major traffic study institute in England. They did some studies on the impacts of driver impairment on things like drug use, alcohol use, texting while driving, cell phone while driving. Here's the interesting statistics. Someone under the influence of alcohol, according to this study, the delayed reaction time for somebody under the influence is 12% delayed reaction time. So when you're driving 40, 50 miles an hour, 12% delayed reaction time, that's pretty bad. How about marijuana smokers? Users of marijuana, what is their delayed reaction time? Remember, alcohol is 12%. If you're under the influence of marijuana, the delayed reaction time is about 19%. Wow, that's unbelievable. Even worse than if you're under the influence of alcohol. It's pretty dangerous out there. Okay, how about texting while driving? According to the study, the delayed reaction time for texting while driving is a whopping 39%. 39% reaction time. Maybe you want to do a little project and do the math, okay? If you're traveling at 60 miles an hour, how fast are you going per second, okay? And to figure out a delayed reaction time of 39%, and to figure out how long someone's going to go, yeah, it's dangerous. So if you are texting while driving or talking on the phone while driving, the odds are against you. Let's face it, someday you are going to injure yourself or others. There's just no way around that. No way around that. So take it from me, do yourself a favor, okay? Do not drive while impaired. And especially, do not text and drive. Which reminds me of another study I saw recently. They did a study of who they asked people, which age group do you think were the worst at texting and driving? And who is the best at texting and driving? And to no one's surprise, everyone in each age group thought the person in their own age group were the best at texting while driving and could do it without a problem. So if you're in the 18 to 24 age group, then you, of course, assume, hey, my age group, we're much better at texting while driving. We can handle it better than all those other age groups. Even the upper age groups, like 30 to 40, 40 to 50, each age group thought, yeah, I can text and drive and handle it better than those youngsters. So you see the bias you have. You have elevated opinion of your own ability to text while drive, but the actual answer is no one is able to text while drive. You're going to kill somebody. So that's the end of the topics for today. If you'd like to contact us with questions about the show, or if you have an idea for a new show, you can you can email me, info@eastcountynow.org. We also have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com, East County Now. And we also have a website, eastcountynow.org. But the best place to get information on show air dates and reruns, that sort of thing, is at our Facebook page, East County Now. Facebook.com, East County Now. Again, if you have show ideas, if you want some comments on our show today, feel free to email us at info@eastcountynow.org. And I want to thank our crew today. Our crew consists of the great, fantastic Frank Martin, who is best director in the house, and he's been our director since we began the show. So hats off to Frank, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And you have a good day, evening, and weekend on East County Now. Thanks. I'm Rob Canfield.